Track wrestling here at the Big Ten Championships day before the tournament with Penn State coach Cael Sanderson, and with this team, certainly still a lot of the story still to be written, but each team is unique, and to this point, what has made this team unique? What will be things you'll remember 10, 20 years from now about this team?
I think just the group of individuals that make up the team are all just real special, just great people, just very, just tough, very consistent, right? And I think regular season has gone well. And, we've had a lot of big matches, always do, and they're just the same kids every time. I think that speaks volumes of their character, and they're just, when I go up and down the lineup, I just think of the individuals. I mean, they're just good people. They're people that you want to go compete with, and whatever adventure you're going on, these are the guys you want on, to go on that adventure, and that's what we're doing.
You're certainly one of the most, if not the most, visible program in the country. A lot of eyeballs on your program. What is maybe the biggest misconception out there from your vantage point?
I don't know. I don't know what people think or don't think about our program. I mean, we're just trying to be the best team that we can be, and as a staff, we're trying to continue to improve as we move along. So I don't know what the biggest misconception would be.
If you look back on Zane's career and has a chance to wrestle as a true freshman, and then that redshirt year, and then completely dominant from that point forward. When you look back on what that opportunity to be in the lineup right away did for him, and then the redshirt, what were keys there that set him on this path?
Well, he knew when we were recruiting him that we were planning on him wrestling as a true freshman. Just the way that our team, the lineup and everything was going to work out. And so he came in ready to go, and he had a great year, really an outstanding year. And but he's just continued to improve. He didn't really probably want a red shirt because he just wants to compete. And I remember having that conversation with him, and I think it kind of surprised him a little bit, and kind of shocked him a little bit because he was ready to roll. But I think he's gotten a lot better. Gave him a year to improve, and I just think he keeps getting better and better because he truly is. He's a student of the game, right? He's very coachable. A lot of great wrestlers, I would say, aren't coachable in that. But you tell him to do something, he's going to try it, right? He's extremely loyal to his coaches in that way, and that comes back to his parenting and the way he was brought up. But just a quality individual. He's a dean's list kid. Every semester does very well in school. Is a leader outside of the room as well. Not a guy that parties or anything along those lines. And that's huge for your program, right? If your stars aren't setting a good example, that's tough. It's a tough deal. But he's been a perfect leader for us up to this point.
You've got, I think, 3 guys in your lineup now that have wrestled as true freshmen. What kind of characteristics do you look for in a guy's readiness, and whether to use them right away or not?
Well, a couple of things. I think but ultimately just figuring out whether he's ready or not. I mean, it's just mindset-wise, are they physically mature enough to compete, at the next level? That a lot of times kids are still growing. Have they gotten close to their peak to where they can, they're not getting beat on strength alone. I mean, little things that you have to look at, but more than anything, it's them being on board, and I think probably buying into it and being willing to think about the team, before their own individual career, and that might be the tougher piece, because a redshirt year, you're probably going to get better, right? A year in a college room, but sometimes as a team, you need those guys to step up, even if they feel like they could use a year to improve. So it's just more than anything, I think it's just character and team players.
When you evaluate guys in recruiting, and what are some of the things that make a kid a good fit for your program?
Well, I think there's enough access to our program, and the kids know that, and they're going to know if they're a good fit in our program when they come visit, and that's not, I'm not going to go into individual or details or anything, because that wouldn't make sense for me to do that. But yeah, you just, over time, we get so many visits, and we can bring them in on an official visit. They can watch your interviews and watch whatever they have going on and get a good idea. Watch the kids in our program, and they can see how our kids compete. I think that's our biggest recruiting tool, is just the way our kids are competing, and that our guys have been ready to roll at the right times of the year consistently, and because kids want to be successful.
When you look at 197, has that been at all a surprise, a revelation this year, or did you know what you had coming in?
I wasn't expecting Shakur to do what he did at that weight, because I wasn't sure if he was going 84, 97, but he put in a lot of time and has gotten very big and strong. We had McCutcheon and Kassar. McCutcheon's been great for us the last 3 years, and Kassar's been hurt, and has been working really hard. So of those three, starting the season, we knew we couldn't really go wrong, but in the process, you hope that they're stepping up and improving, right, to get get to a point where they can compete for a national championship, and we feel like we have. I think McCutcheon, if he's healthy, he's not healthy, so we're down to 2, but we feel like both of those guys obviously had a chance to compete for national championship, and now we'll find out.
How do you get it? How do you get it from 2 down to 1 when you ultimately have to make a decision, and both of them have been doing their job?
Well, you just it's just a tough decision, right? There's a lot of different things you consider. They're in the tournament together, and they're in practice together. Results. Everyone can see what the results are. I mean, they're both winning. I felt like Kassar was continuing to improve, and no doubt about it, he was. But at the end of the day, you have to make a call.